Hi, great. What's all this cool stuff you have all over the table? Well, let me tell you about it. So, do you know what these are? I think they're birds. They are birds. Yeah, they're birds, and birds are really cool. And we can do a lot of really awesome things to help the birds that we see outside. One great thing that we can do is we can build a birdhouse for them, because they like to build nests in here, and they'll live in here. Another really cool thing that we can do for them is we can make a bird feeder. And we can make bird feeders out of all kinds of really cool stuff that we can find at home, like an old milk jug or an old coffee can. And they're really, really easy to do. You can even just go to the store and buy one. And you know what's really cool? They sell them at Kettle Creek. If we're gonna have a birdhouse or a bird feeder, you gotta put bird seed in it, right? Because birds like to eat the bird seed. So there's all different kinds of bird seed that we can put into the bird feeders to attract different types of birds. There's mixed seeds, and that's kind of like a buffet for the birds. There's all kinds of really great things in there that they love to eat. And these are sprinkles for the birds. I'm just kidding. This isn't sprinkles. This is actually called thistle. It's a really funny word to say, but finches like to eat thistle. And then, this is one of my favorites as well. Sunflower seeds. Yeah, sunflower seeds. You know who likes to eat the sunflower seeds? I do. Who? Me. You? Yeah, well, me too. But you know what? Cardinals like to eat sunflower seeds. Oh. Yeah, their special beaks are really, really good for cracking open those seeds, so they really like to eat them. And you know what else is really cool about birds? There's so many different kinds. Isn't that neat?
What is that you got in there?
Well, there's something about birds that no other animals have that make birds really, really, really special. Do you know what it is? Well, they all have beaks. Well, turtles can have beaks. Okay, birds can fly. Well, bats can fly. Oh, they're covered with feathers. Feathers, that's right. Birds have feathers.
What is a feather?
Good question, Matt. What is a feather and what does it do? Well, we have a little time, so let us tell you. Have you ever seen a bird bundled in a coat and hat?
No, I haven't. That'd be silly. They don't need that.
Birds have fuzzy feathers on their bodies called down. They keep them oh so warm when there's snow on the ground. Have you ever seen a bird holding an umbrella?
Well, no, I haven't, but he'd be one funny looking fella.
The outer feathers of a bird help keep it waterproof. They shed off the water just like shingles on your roof. Whatever the weather, the birds eat their feathers, and the ways that they use them are really very clever.
Feathers are so special. What else could they do?
They cover a bird's wings to help it fly above you. Birds are so lucky to have the gift of flight. They can soar, flap, and flutter. Oh, what a sight. Of all of the things about birds we discover, the coolest thing of all is their rainbow of colors. Red is the color of the cardinal. Orange is the color of the oriole. The little goldfinch is golden yellow, and the lazy hummingbird is a tiny green fellow. Blue is the color of the bunting and the jay. The bubblehead duck is kind of purple in a way. Many other birds are just shades of brown and gray to help them blend in and keep the predators away.
Wow, you guys really know a lot about birds. Is there anything else I should know about these guys?
Well, you can always keep learning about birds.
So we know birds are animals, which means they're part of the food chain too. So birds can eat a variety of different things, but that also means that they can also be eaten by other animals too. So some of these little birds that come to bird feeders may have to worry about predators like cats or snakes, or even bigger birds like hawks that might swoop in and catch them. And even birds that live on the ground, like turkeys and grouse, might have to worry about some predators that live on the ground, like coyotes and foxes. So that is why they have special colors that help them blend in. You see that they're mostly brown or gray, and a lot of them might have spots and stripes on their feathers, and that's going to help break up their image in nature so they're hard to see.
Brittany, isn't there a special word that describes when an animal blends in with nature?
Ah, Alicia, you're right. There is a special science word for blending in. It is called camouflage.
Camouflage.
Yeah, camouflage. You've probably heard of camouflage before, the ability to blend in. It's an adaptation that animals have sometimes for being able to stay alive.
Or an adaptation. Wait, what's that? An adaptation?
So Matt, an adaptation is something about an animal, or in this case, a bird, something about their bodies or their behavior that helps them to survive.
Okay.
So birds, along with camouflage, also have other really great adaptations. One special thing about birds is their beaks. So you'll notice a lot of the different birds have different types of beaks, and beaks are adapted to what the birds like to eat. So this Cooper's hawk here has a beak that's short, sort of shaped like a hook, because he uses that to tear apart his food.
Oh.
And the duck, like this mallard duck that I have back here, his beak is kind of shaped like a spoon, because he likes to scoop stuff like plant matter out of the bottom of ponds, because that's what he likes to eat.
Right.
And something really cool about this pileated woodpecker, if you look at his beak is shaped like a chisel, because what do woodpeckers like to do?
Peck wood!
Peck wood, yeah, because he's pecking the wood looking for insects to eat. So along with their beaks on their bodies, if this Cooper's hawk wants to use his special beak to tear apart his food, he's going to need something to hold it down. And since Cooper's hawks like to eat other animals that are really fast, they have special feet. They look like claws, right? They're actually called talons. Talons, yeah. So he'll use his talons to grasp a hold of his prey. Maybe a mouse, a snake, or another bird. So he has those special talons. And you know what? Owls do too, because owls like to eat mice, and mice are pretty quick. So they have to have those special talons to grab those mice. And you know what is really cool about the duck? Have you ever worn flippers going for a swim in a pool or a lake?
I have, yeah. I can swim a lot faster with those guys on.
Ducks have flippers, like we would wear, but these are known as webbed feet. So ducks have webbed feet, and some other animals that swim also have webbed feet as well. And then, if we look at the rest of the birds here on the table, a lot of them have smaller feet that they just use to perch. So those are all different adaptations for the different types of birds. But you know what? They have other adaptations that aren't about their bodies as well. Behavioral adaptations.
Yeah, so did you guys know that some birds, like the scarlet tanager and the indigo bunting, actually migrate?
Migrate. I've heard of that word before. Now, what does that mean?
Now, migrate is a special behavioral adaptation, and migrate means that the birds will travel somewhere else for the winter. So these two birds, they actually do live in Pennsylvania in the summertime, and when they are here, they love to eat insects. That's their favorite food. But in the wintertime, are there insects flying around here in Pennsylvania?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, all the insects have died for the most part here, so these birds are gonna run out of food, right?
So what they're going to do is migrate. So they will fly south somewhere warmer where there are still insects alive. And it's really cool because these birds can fly really, really far. They go all the way down to South America for their migration, where they will be for the winter and eat all the food until they're ready to return.
South America, is that with the monkeys? They're hanging out with monkeys?
Absolutely,
No way.
it's with the monkeys. It's really far away.
Wow, that journey must take a lot of energy.
Absolutely, it does take a lot of energy. They need to eat a lot of food before they leave, and they need to keep eating all the way down for their journey too. Now, not all birds migrate, right? There are some birds that can live in Pennsylvania all year round. You might recognize these birds. They're so bright and beautiful. You've probably seen them before. This is the cardinal, and this is a blue jay. And if you have a bird feeder in your backyard, you definitely recognize these birds because they love to visit bird feeders and look for bird seed. And these birds will be there in the middle of winter when it's really cold, even in the middle of a snowstorm, at your feeder looking for food.
So cool.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Absolutely.
I've definitely seen those birds at bird feeders before. They must be really hungry in the winter. But I've also noticed that I can see bigger birds perched in the trees too in the winter. I'm driving down the highway and I can look in the trees and see like a big hawk perched up there too.
Yeah, winter is really a great time to look for birds and watch birds outside. And watching the birds is a great way that we can actually learn about them. And by learning about the birds, we're actually helping the birds because we can protect them and protect our environment.
Man, birds are so amazing in so many different ways. So it's important that we take time to watch them each and every day.
Indeed.